Hello, everyone, and welcome back to some Steel Division 2. It has been a while, but Eugen finally, finally, after a long time, is going to release the Battle of Dukla Pass expansion soon. Really soon this time. And that means we can preview the new divisions and the new army general. And that is what we're gonna do all in this video. And let's start with the battle groups, and let's start with the Soviet division here, as the 242nd Gornostrelk via is coming around, and we're gonna go in there and let's have a look. 6 new divisions, 1 new army general, that is all to come, plus a lot of balance changes, and yeah, let's start in the recon tab as per usual with these. And there you get an interesting little recon tank here with a Soviet Toldi 2, Toldi 1, which is usually a Hungarian tank, but got captured here and comes around for the Soviets. Only in A phase, but solid availability there. 864 on the vet. You get your little bike with an MG, A and B phase with 1 vet. Solid availability there as well. But yeah, it's still only bike. Sniper with Mosin Nagant. Max vet only with the Gorno Sniper in all phases. Modvechvetka that can come around in an M3A1 Studebaker or VC. That can come in A only and only with vet. Has only PPSHs, nothing super special there. And then the Gornostrelk Saperi, which can't come in any armored truck, only it's this via Studebakers or the VC-52, but are an interesting squad, though I'm not sure this weapon loadout is really that great of a combination. TNT and sniper rifle go a bit against each other, and the rest of the weapon well, are not really supporting the sniper rifle much either, with 3 Mosin Nagants and 2 PPS. But it's a 6-man recon, it has radio, which obviously is always helpful as well. It has a pretty good availability as a 6-man recon squad. So price is fair as well at 25. This could be an interesting one. And then you have your CQC recon that can push into the enemy with the Gornostrelk, Molotovs, 10 PPSHs, and radio still. So that's an interesting, good option of recon as well. The tab itself, relatively limited, but still 4 okay slots that you can get there. So you will be able to spot something on the battlefield. And yeah, you have decent options here. The only somewhat normal, like basic recon squad only being available in A is a bit annoying, but yeah, that's the others are all pretty fine as well. And the Toldi is a nice touch. Infantry tab, starting with Gornostrelk, 6-man squad, PPSH, TNT, no armored truck here, only the normal ones. Availability 5, 10, 15, not that great for a 6-man squad, but yeah, it gets you around. At least the veterancy curve is fine, only losing 1 availability there with 4, 8, 12. And then Gornostrelk, really solid little infantry, 20 points and 15 points, fair price here as well. Gornostrelk, 20 points, 4 SVTs and a DT, anti-tank grenade on top. Radar trade, and this guy, they have good availability, 12 base availability, 16, 21 on 1 vet, 12, 24, 32 here on 0. And yeah, the max vet is a bit rough, so you usually want to bring them at 1 vet or 0 vet, but the weapon loadout with the 4 SVTs is a solid one. You want to push them a bit into closer fights. The light machine gun that can be move and shoot helps there as well. So this is a CQC squad that still has an okay damage output on the mid-range and a fair 20-point unit. 11 hit points is a nice one as well there. So that works out nicely. And then you have the Gorno Auto, which can put up smoke as they have 3 smoke grenades. They have the radar and shock traits as well. So that is nice too here. Gornos all around as per usual with radar. And then 9 availability, 18, 27, 6, 12, 18 on 1 vet. 3 cards of these. Still same transports, Studebackers and Sis. So yeah, classic smoke plus 10 PPSHs. And then you have the kind of improved version of that. Same price, 1 less availability on 1 vet, and you get a TNT. And you only get 1 card of these, but these are a unit that you most likely want to bring. They have the PPS 43, and they come with TNT on top and an extra man. TNT and an extra man without the price change. That's obviously nice. And the availability on max threat is kind of okay as well here. Only losing 1 at A phase. So these guys, they are pretty good at the 100 meter range. So if you can push them there, if you can get them into a nice CQC combat, and with smoke that should absolutely be doable, these guys will wreck. Gornostrelk DT, double DT, Mosin Nagant, and 2 PPS 43 with the bolt rifles and 2 double MG. Pretty good on the medium distance. Not great, but pretty good. And 9, 18, 27. A classic Steel Division availability curve here. 6, 12, 18 on 1 vet. Both fine availabilities. And with 11 men and this firepower, pretty fine on the mid distance. With the double SMG and the light machine guns, also fine in CQC. Not really great at any distance, but solid. And that is good baseline infantry. No AT weapon here. Is a bit sad, but you gotta live with it. The leaders here, 11 men, is nice as well for a division that wants to push around a lot into the enemy's face, so that the leader can follow there as well. The 639 availability is the standard fair one as well at 1 vet, so Gorno Comrade here doing their job as well. Gorno Saperi rocks, 1 flamethrower, and outside of that, double DT, 11 men. So this squad actually is fine at the mid distance as well, as it has SVT once more too. But it is also really good at the CQC range, because DTs can still fire on the move, and in CQC, PPSHs are good there. SVTs are pretty fine on short range as well, and the flamethrower obviously is great. 510 availability is fine as well for a squad like this, and 30 points is a fair price there too. And then Gornostrelk Comrade with the Panzerschreck are a cool little lead as well. 6 hit points are still fine. And yeah, they pay the same price as these guys. These guys have smoke as utility and the more hit points. This guy has a Panzerschreck. As you lack a bit of AT weapons in the rest of the squads, getting the Panzerschreck actually could be quite nice. So this is a viable one as well. Both have radio too. So these leaders, pretty good ones, I would say. You get 2 of these, 1 of these. The rocks, you get 2 cards off as well. So pretty strong infantry tab. Not any insane units, but most of the units are at the curve or slightly above it for infantry division, and that helps out. The SVTs are a nice touch, and yeah, Gornos obviously want to get into the CQC. Tank tab is an interesting one as well. We start with Taldies, and we get more Tyrants here as well, with the red star to indicate that other Soviet units, please don't fire on this thing. And we have Tyran 1 and Tyran 2. Tyran 2 even can come in B phase. Else the Tyran 1 only in A phase. Same goes for the Shrini, so you might want to play this deck a bit more aggressive. There is no tank available in C phase. Even the IS-1, which you only get 1 card of as well, only comes in B phase, so this is a more aggressive deck. And then you have 1 IS-2 commander, which only comes in A phase. So this deck has armor for A phase especially, but for B phase it's still fine as well. But if you go behind the B phase, this deck will have struggles with the aggressive infantry tab as well, which is also the best units are only available in A B phase. Like, this is an aggressive deck. You really want to put the pressure onto the enemy. You get nice support for that in the support tab as well. You get the 50mm mortars as per usual, Maxims and Dushkas, the classic 72mm OB25, 76mm Gornostrelk, VLA combat, and one card of only a face, once more, ISU 152. So the aggressiveness of the deck continues here. This is a deck that you want to play Vanguard or Maverick with these guys coming around. Tyrants are solid, Srini is pretty nice as well, IS-1 is a good tank as well, so all of these are good options. ISU 152 can be pretty helpful as well, as the pen it has is nice, but it's especially also really nice as a support weapon. That's why it's also here, to deal with enemy infantry position, enemy anti-tank event position, and get those killed. Tank tap, anti-tank tap, pretty limited as well. PTRS coming around as a normal squad, or as a one with the Gorno trait, that gives it Raider, and double PTRS, 4-man squad there, against 2-man squad. And for only 5 points, you get double the PTRs, get the SVTs, but that's not the most important part. Everything has smoke. And yeah, the Raiders here is nice. Can still come in the Jeep. So speed is still there. And then we have the CIS-3 PT-76-2s. And it's CIS-2s. Only the CIS-3s can be taken in C-phase, so this once more continues. You can only get one card of CIS-2s. CIS-2s, the ones that have the better pen. 120mm on the normal AP shell versus 105, and then APCR 135 versus 185. So CIS-2 is the better AT gun here, but you only get one card. CIS-3 can still do a decent job and has HE rounds if you need it, a bit as fire support. AA, the stolen Hungarian situation continues, as we have the Nimrods here. Once more, only in A-phase. We also get stolen Flak Feelings. So this really is such an aggressive deck. Like, the stuff it gets in A and B phase is pretty good. It is not outstanding, but it is pretty good. And then it just falls off cliff. Like, you can get this 85mm in C phase, but that's like 1 out of 4 units so far we have seen that you actually can take in C phase. And the rest is all A and B phase. So this deck really signals one thing, and then we have a really cool looking new little rocket jeep here, coming around with 8 rocket shells on the rear, 40 points. You get 3 of them in A phase, 6 of them in B phase. Once more, no C phase. This radio guided little artillery piece for the Gornostrelk case is always quite nice as well, as you have a decent amount of radios going around, and it's pretty cheap and can lay HE down for you quite quickly. Rate of fire on this thing is pretty good with 12 rounds per minute, and when it is decently accurate, this thing actually kind of shreds. You get 3 cards of it, 3/6 availability. Once more, no C phase. Adna, Wojnicki, and the artillery leader and observation units are around as well. Then you get 3 versions of mortars, 82, 107, and 120mm mortar. No radio for these guys. And then one off map with 452mm. This one actually can come in C phase, but I don't think you want it there. So an okay light artillery tab. These guys always have been great, so I think this is where you mostly want to go and maybe test this thing out, but I don't think it's actually going to be that amazing, though you obviously want to bunch it together. Like, for 40 points, you can get a couple of them and then have a bit of a salvo, but it's still not that many rockets, actually. Air tap, it's okay. Not the worst, but also not the best. At least the first 3 slots are pretty cheap, though. IL-2KR coming in as a classic recon, Yak 1B, mediocre fighter, 85 points only. Then we have an IL-2 with napalm bombs, the small napalm droplets coming around here. 223mm in the wings as per usual on the IL-2's Yak 9R. Decent little recon fire there. If you compare it here, it's flying a bit faster. It's a Yak 9, and it has the same weapons there, 112.7 and 120mm, which is okay firepower, not great, and relatively mediocre, but for a recon plane, that's actually quite nice. LA5s, those I like quite a bit. 100 points here, solid availability, solid price. LA5F ends with 250 kilogram bombs. Not the biggest fan of those. At least they have good availability and a decent reload speed. But the 50 kilogram bombs are also not the most amazing at actually killing things. So more so to stun down enemy defensive positions and then maybe get a kill on the AT gun. But the LA5F ends with the two 100 kilogram bombs I like a lot more. Can deal with those defensive units like AT guns and MGs relatively reliably, and also deal a bit of damage maybe against armor or so, and yeah, just deal a bit more damage. So 3 availability here, only 2 availability in A-phase here, 246 versus 369, and the Bostons here coming around with only 1 availability in A-phase, but then 4-6. So this is a B-phase card that you want to take with 250 kilogram bombs. Second one with the 1000 kilogram bomb, actually same availability, so you can get 4 1000 kilogram bombs in B phase. That is pretty nice. I think that's kind of how you want to play this. If you need the air support, like the Bostons kind of have you covered. 820s are pretty okay bombers. They're not the most amazing, but the 1000 kilogram bombs here, they go pretty hard. And IL-2 AT rockets, like those are kind of necessary as well. And I feel like you want to start with decent A phase. So that you can take your eyes 1 in B phase, have your eyes 2 in A phase as well, but you will struggle with some heavier tanks for sure in this deck. So having a 1000 kilogram bomb that can deal with those, and having an AT option, both in A and B phase, that can be pretty helpful here in the air tap. But yeah, as I said, not the most amazing air tap. I would say those are the 2 bombers that you want to take, and then Yak 9 and A, LA5 and B phase or something like that. So yeah, that I think is how you go about this. And yeah, maybe you even just take the Recon Yak 9s as your fighters. There are a couple of options to build this, but none of them is amazing, though there are fine options here. The bomber loadouts here are okay. So yeah, that's the first division. Let's move on to the next one. And that is the first of 2 Czechoslovak formations, and this is kind of the reason why this took also long, because new voice lines need to be added, and yeah, they are finally all here. And that means that the first Ceskoslovensky Amatny Spore is around here now, and that one comes around with decent recon, good infantry, solid tank availability, good artillery, okay air, bad anti-air, okay anti-tank, and okay support. Starting in the recon, where you get the good old, really old T-38 M2s, little amphibious tank head to get you scouted. You can get a carrier Dushka as well, which is a universal carrier with a Pren and a Dushka. Actually okay firepower, but costs you 10 points and is pretty slow. So maybe not the most amazing, but no, if it would have radio or something like this would be nice, but nothing like this, so I don't think that's really where you want to go. And then we have your classic 2-man recon squad here with the Prushkomnici, and they can come around in a BA-64, in a Willy, in a VLA, and a carrier. And yeah, classic availability as well. So a solid 2-man recon squad. Then the sniper variant, which can come around in the same ones outside of the BA-64, so classic unarmored transports here, A and B phase availability. Radio squad with 9 men, 20 points, smoke, good in CQC. That is a viable option for sure. Only coming around Studbecker, 3-6 availability is fine as well. The radio here is quite nice, and the firepower on CQC is pretty good as well. Smoke means it can disengage. Like, I like that guy. And I like this one as well. 6-man Pzgr smoke. That's something we have seen around with the Americans quite a couple of times. This one only CQC weapons here with the PPS 43s. That's actually not a bad thing, meaning that at least only engage in a range where they actually can do decent damage. 30 cost is relatively high, but the Bazooka smoke utility is quite nice. If they would have radio, this would be great. Without radio, I would say it's still something that you could absolutely consider. The slots are a bit limited, but yeah, you have the other options here decently covered, and then maybe getting this for the AT could be quite handy. And then infantry tab, and we start with the Parasutiste coming around here with Raiders and Shock, and as you would want to for a unit like this, a lot of PPSs and an anti-tank grenade. Pretty classic 9-18 availability as well. A and B phase. You have a good amount of slots here. Saperi, A and B phase as well. SVT, Mosin Nagants, and TNT. 15 points for 9-man TNT squad. I take that. The 15-point price here is fair on these. It's an okay Saperi squadron. And availability a bit rough though. 6-12. But not bad. Just, yeah, classic Saperi kind of availability curve there. Velitel, Tanko, Strelkov coming around in the Jeeps. In the VCS here. Here it's only Studebackers, so no armored transport for this division here. Coming around. Then we have the Power Saperi. And those come around with smoke. Flamethrower, SVT, and PPS 43s. 5-10 availability on one vet is pretty fair as well. Smoke plus Flamer is a nice combo. SVTs are fair. They are decent at CQC. On this squad, you maybe want to have had more PPS 43s actually though. 8 hit point is okay as well. 20 price, fair too. And then the Parasutiste with DTs. So the Paras here coming around with a solid firepower package. 7 hit points, 3 DTs, 3 SVTs. This is decent firepower in the mid-range. Good availability as well. 9-18. 7 strength. It's a fair squad. No extra utility, no anti-tank grenade or anything, and 7 hit points. If it would be 8, would be great. I think 7, it's okay. And then you have your normal 10-man Streltsy here, 1 DP, 9 Mosin Nagants. So I think it's a Mosin Nagant too many, and a PPS 43. Yeah, early access build. 12, 24, 32, 36 RPG, 43 grenade coming around. Streltsy PTR with the PTRD. Pretty solid squad as well. 12 strength. PTRD DP, only 1 DP28, so not much extra firepower there. But the SVT 40 upgrade from the Mosin Nagant is a really nice one. And that should give them a decent amount of firepower. And yeah, 9, 18, 27 availability with decent 1-vet availability. Not so great 2-vet availability for the Streltsy. PTR is a nice one as well. So those two options for your baseline infantry are quite fair. Velitel Saparov with SVT, Panzerfaust, and PPS. Relatively bad leader, but classic 3-man. And it comes with 4-8 availability, so at least gets compensated there. Release as a transport. And then we have another CQC unit, 25.1, with 10-man strength. Good availability, 8, 16, 24, or okay availability. Though compared to the 10 points cheaper 8-man squadron, like paying 2, and it doesn't have Raider, so paying 10 points for 2-man, that's not a good trade at all in Steel Division terms. So I would say you rather play with these, and you get 3 cards of these, so there is no real reason to go for the other guys, I would say. Unless you really want to have a bit more manpower out of your cards. As we have been here. No. What? I jumped over these guys. Sorry, we will get back there in a second. Yeah, these guys I wouldn't go for. These guys, the Moto Automachiki with a DP, 25 points, and a PPSHs. Once more, not that great of a weapon loadout. The DP goes okay with the PPSHs, but you don't want to just have it fire on its own. For these guys, you go if you want to have armor, because in B-Phase, these guys bring it around a bit of armored support with the M2A1 here. So if you want to have the 50 cal truck, this is where you go. You get 16 of these, so fitting perfectly to the automatic jeepney. So this is where you can get your half tracks from, and you kind of want those, so there the 25 points is fair, together with the package you get there as a transport. Paravilitel, Smoke, and the PTRD. This is a nice 4 availability leader. Like the 4 availability on the 6-man leader with Smoke and the PTRD, that is great. So this is for sure a leader card you want. I think you want both. It's a bit more pricey than the 3-man leader, but only 5 points. And I think it has a lot more utility. You feel a lot more comfortable using an anti-tank rifle compared to a Panzerfaust on your leaders as well, because you still are at the distance where you can disengage, and the smoke helps with this as well. So this is a good one. And then we have the Stealthy SVT, and this is a good baseline infantry unit as well. Getting the extra price increase to 25 points. Doesn't have a TA, but has a lot of good mid-range firepower. 2 DPs, 10 SVTs. This is a good, just playing lead over the enemy kind of unit. Tenkovi Streltsy, another CQC squad, so you get a lot of different options here. These can come in half tracks as well, with 50 cal. So you can get one of these in A, the other one's in B. Molotov here, so getting a bit closer to the 25 points with that as well. Have the Tank Rider Trade 2, Shock, and Flamethrower. And then another leader here with 6-8 availability and 10 hit points. A decent option too. Doesn't have any armor transport. With the Velitel Samo Panikov. And the Velitel Strelkov coming around. The availability on all these leaders is nice. The 4, 8, 12 is pretty dope, and the leader here okay with the smoke, but 25 points. If you compare that to this, it feels a bit rough. No radio, 2 less men, and no anti-tank weapon. Same price, so that's a bit rough there. Trestny Ordeal, 20-man squad. Those are the big boys here. You come with 6, 12, 18 base availability, 13, 9, 4, so okay at 1 vet as well. 3 DPs, Mosinaga, PPS 43, and a PTRD. Pretty classic of one of these penalty squads. 20-man squad when going around 35 points. It's an okay squad. It has the availability is lower than the other squadrons. You don't get that much more manpower out of the card. But the individual squad for sure in a building can hold out quite nicely. And you can take it with veterancy if you want to. So a decent option there as well. Tank Tab has a lot of versatility. Like really going up from the smallest to the biggest of tanks. You go up from a tank head that you can bring as a command unit. Only 5 points. If you want to have a really cheap leader, there you go. A-Phase, 3 availability. T-70 in A-Phase. A decent little mini tank as well. With the 45mm AP gun. Can deal with light vehicles, not much more. Then a classic T-34-76. Coming around in B-Phase and C-Phase only, as that's where the Soviets tried to rescue you with their armored formation. B-Phase here for the leader. You have your own Czechoslovak T-34-76 only in A and B phase. And then the leader only in A phase. Then with the Soviets coming limited in B phase with the T-34-85-43. And B and C phase there. Your own only comes in A phase. This is a 44 though, so you have the better one early with the 2000 meter range and the better AP shell. Or same AP, but with lower range and lower base rate of fire as well. As it goes up with veterancy, sure, because it has 1 vet. But yeah, this T-34-85-44 with the better range here, coming in early. IS-1 coming around here as well in B phase. And then IS-2 1944. Coming around in B and C phase as well. So the good IS-2 is here. Coming onto the board. 180mm frontal armor. So you can get some heavy boys out in the late game too. So a really interesting deck there. I think it's pretty versatile. You kind of know when stuff is coming, but there is a lot of good different optics in these two tabs. The recon tab is fine as well. So the 3 base tabs here are covered pretty well. Support tab is fine as well, with a really interesting little flamer unit here, the Ampulomet. 500-meter range, throwing flames at the enemy. And yeah, has release as well. Direct fire, little flamethrower, or like Molotov thrower. So little interesting unit here. 6, 12, 18 availability. Then you have your classic ARM 38s, Maxim, SG-43, and Dushka, all the MG options. And the para ones with radar, obviously. OB-25, 76mm, coming around as well. And then you have 2 Czech-Slovak commanders, 1 as para leader with smoke, 6 men, 1 in a little bike, and then a T-34-76 camaraderie for the Soviets here, coming around in B phase only. Anti-tank guns, okay tab as well. You start with BTR 41s. You have a big anti-tank rifle squadron here for 20 points with smoke and an anti-tank grenade as well. So yeah, okay little squad here. Good at killing light transports. Can at least if the enemy just pushes on top of it, use the anti-tank grenade as well. 20 points though, so you really need to kind of commit there. 45mm guns, and in the para version as well for 5 points more with the radar trait. And yeah, this one can come in all phases. This one can only come in A phase. And both have the same availability as well. SS-Fr.Pzgr 76mm without the shield here for the Czechoslovaks. Outside of that, performance is the same. Can come in the Yard 12 slow tractor, towing that thing. And I usually think you're gonna use the Studebackers. You got 200 Studebackers, so you shouldn't run out of those. 1 SIS-2 card in A phase coming around as well, and then SU-85 only A phase as well, but having 1 card of tank destroyers here can be quite handy as well, and the slots allow for it. A lot of SIS-3 cards actually, but yeah, SIS-2 only being limited to A phase and only 1 card is a bit annoying, and Soviets not bringing around more of those. AA really limited. The only long range one in A you get are the 37mm. Then you get 85mm from. Oh no, you actually can bring those in A. Okay. No, those Soviets, I guess AA they bring in first. Yeah, A and B phase here for the 37mm, and then the Maxim. Not so great truck coming around early on as well. So yeah, guess you want to stick with those. Artillery, pretty fine tab. You get some of the classic guns here. M30, ML20, M30 without radio, and the ML20 with radio here. And then M60 guns here coming around as well. As a 107mm howitzer. Decent rate of fire. Same here. Yeah, the price goes up as it gets a solid AP shell here as well. 6 rounds per minute stay. So yeah, radio on this one can lay down smoke, which this one can't. 120mm mortar, 120mm mortar with radio. So there I feel like you want to go with the radio one for the accuracy. Classic leaders here as well. Decent little artillery tab. So really this deck is a solid all-rounder. Nice addition there. And the air tab kind of supports that. Nothing super special here. PE3. The HE cluster IL-2. The HE rocket IL-2Ms going around as well. LA5FN with the 20mm, double 20mm guns here. Pretty classic fighter, decent speed, 610, decent guns. The 1kg bomb ones, which I think is the better one. So that one is quite nice. And then P25s with a lot of 1kg bombs, not the biggest fan there. P2 with 4 250kg bombs is the better bomber in my eyes with the 146 availability curve. And Cobra with the 7mm gun in the nose and a 250kg bomb. Solid fighter bomber as well. Can come with 2-4 availability as well. So okay air options, and that really fits in a deck that is just a good all-rounder. And yeah, if you want to play the Czechoslovaks and you want to have a good all-rounder, this is the deck. The other one that we will get to in a second, not quite so good at that job, though it has an interesting amount of stuff as we go into the S&P here. And the S&P starts with a little really cool painted armored truck. 5 points, double MG, and 816 availability, so you can bring quite a lot of these guys and just have the recon. The recon tab is pretty limited. So you have a little tank head with only one Breda, which has to be 5 points because you can't go free. 816 here as well, so in between these twos, as it has 5 more frontal armor, but that doesn't really save you. I think it's this one, as it is not much faster actually. It is faster on the road though, 60 kmh, and it has double the firepower. So yeah, if you want to take them, the availability is good to move around and spot a bit. You can do that with those. BMW little 2-man squad here with the ZK-383 150mm machine gun. Firepower itself not that amazing, but the range is nice on these. And yeah, Kubel and Kubel MG, as those are the forces that switched side. So you will see a lot of German equipment here around in this division, like those transports. Then we have the Gornostrelk sniper rifle as A, B, and C phase with 2 vet. So limited availability, Kubel and BMW options here. And then a Soviet equipped sniper with the Powras and an SVT PU. It's only coming in C phase though, but with 12 availability and 1 vet. So if you want to have sniper rifles in C phase, these might be okay, but I don't think you really can afford that in this tab. Another C phase only coming in, Para 8 MGs DT smoke. Squad, radio is nice, smoke is nice, CQC firepower is nice, C phase not so nice, and then a classic 4-man squad in a Kubel in a nice paint job, or in a Praga RV truck. And yeah, 4, 8, 12 availability on these guys. The 4 weapons are whatever, no AT on this, 20 points is okay. Availability is fine as well. This is your baseline recon. You get 4 cards of these, so you could just fill all slots. I don't think you want to do that. So yeah, in okay recon tab, no really good unit here, but you at least get a decent option of the small recon infantry squads that you need to get some eye on the enemy, and maybe you take one of those trucks as well. Our Sutiste coming around in C phase. We have seen these in the other division already. Those are the 8-man PPS squad for 15 points. I would say those are quite nice with radar and shock. And the availability is fair as well, but you have to wait till C phase for these. So you rather get something else beforehand, like the Cyclistic Strelci here with a 13-man squad. Only 1 MG. The rest is all bolt action rifle. 20 points, so the hit points are nice, the firepower is not so great. But for 20 points, you get a good availability here, like 12, 24, 32. That's the good baseline infantry availability curve, and then an AT grenade as well, so solid one there. You can also get one at the tank unit here, the Lovci Tanku, PTRD and the bazooka. 7-man squad. That is fair as well. So mixing these with not so great anti-tank, but decent manpower with these guys. Like this deck, a bit more specialized in what the infantry each do. Parasaperi here, coming around with this smoke, the rocks, and the SVTs and the PPS 43. We just saw these in the other deck. Once more, so the Paras only coming in C phase to try to rescue these guys. So you are a bit limited. Same for the Parasutister, so you need to find ways to hold on. Partizani might help out of that. Another 12-man squad. A lot of firepower here, actually, for the Partizani. PPS 43s and MP40s. Once more, showing that these guys had to get some German firepower next to the support with Soviet weapons. And Molotovs on these guys as well. So, Radio 2. Like, this is actually a quite nice squad. 24 availability is good too. Like, this has Molotov plus 12 hit points. That's already pretty great. It can come with veterancy. And the radio on top, like, that's a nice little cherry there for a 20-point unit that already would be fine at 20 point without that. Stealthy, coming around, 10-man squad, ABC phase, only 1 MG, 1 SMG, so a pretty baseline squad, not the best MG, not the best SMG, so, and not the best bolt action rifle either. This is just a fine squad. Stealthy just going around, Belitel, Splakov, 3-man squad, smoke at least with the naval Kanata. So a bit of utility there that I like for a 3-man squad so that they can survive and disengage. And the 4, 8, 12 availability I like as well. But so far the baseline infantry in A and B phase, not that great. You then also get some American commandos helping you out. The OSS leader in B phase, 6 availability, that's fine. 8-man squad, commando, radio with smoke. Weapon loadout is more so made for CQC with the UD M42 submachine gun plus carbine plus Browning. That still works on the lower ranges as well. So this one is a pretty solid leader, 25 points. No AT capabilities, but the smoke is a nice touch. So could be a viable option as well. And the Paravelitel in C phase, we looked at these before. Great little unit. Partizani also only comes in B phase. Has the MP44 that got a bit reworked and doing more stress, but a bit less damage. The Danuvia, solid submachine gun there as well, and a sniper rifle. A bit of a all over the place weapon loadout. 12 points is nice, but if you compare them to the other Partizani for 20 points, no radio on this, no Molotov, and a bit of weird weapon combinations. The sniper rifle is really helpful. Like, that's why they are 25 points. Doing good stress, doing good damage, and the availability curve is still great as well. So I think it's still a fine squad, but yeah, it's not super special most likely. Then we have the Partizani Foch, which come in with a little French head here, and these have a double MG, so 30-man squad as well, getting the extra hit point there, decent firepower. On CQC, not quite as amazing with the MG42, which can't move and shoot. And yeah, the same here with Browning. The ZP43, 30 with the automatic rifle there. It's quite helpful. But the Partizani Foch, still a Raider squad, 13-man squad. Like, the Partisans are all fine. No AT weapons on these is a bit annoying, but for the firepower, they do okay. Partizani Os are the ones that then bring the AT. I like these guys with American submachine guns, an MG43, 13 men once more, and the bazooka. So you really have good infantry here coming in B phase. Like, the A phase available, what you can get there is pretty limited. So Perji do the job there. They actually are a mix of anti-tank rifle and TNT, so that mix is pretty dope. This classic Saperi 5, 10, 15 availability curve. 10-man squad, 1 MG. Like, this is fine. Automatic rifle as well, so that's good for the TNT, CQC, fight kind of capabilities. So Strelky The Safari here, pretty fine. Strelky, LK, Vivo PTRS, and the ZB, double ZB. That's a fine 10-man squad as well. So actually A-Phase is pretty covered, and you have a lot of different infantry units here, with a lot of interesting weapon loadouts. Another AT-1, so you get the Tanku here with Pzgr and AT rifle. You get the Partizani Osh with the Pzgr. And now you get the P-Postrach with a Panzerschreck. There's a lot of AT infantry that you can choose here. And all of them are fine. 10-man squad here. I would even say the first one here, because it doesn't have good normal infantry capabilities, might be the least interesting one. Because the others are also both fine against infantry. Then we have a 30-man squad, 10-man, sniper rifle once more. This comes only in A-Phase. And the weapon loadout is once more a bit weird. The MP40s don't quite fit in there. The double automatic rifle plus the bolt action sniper, that is nice. Though the rest, losing a bit on firepower, that's a bit frustrating here. Like if this would only be one MP40, and then all bolt action rifles would actually be better, I would say in this case. Though I guess it still has good firepower with the automatic rifles and the submachine guns and CQC as well. So actually, it is pretty fair as well. And then Velitel Saparov, big squad leader, decent 3 availability, smoke 12-man radio. That's a fine leader as well. Tanks, you get old LT VZ 34 and 35, and then 40s and 38s. So all the old Czechoslovak tanks here coming around. 12, 24 availability on these guys. 40mm pen only on the 34. Same gun here. Going up 10 frontal armor. The price stays the same. Availability stays the same. As price compression in Steel Division is real. So you want to go with these. And if you really want to go with these, you put them on top. But there is no reason why. Like the price is the same. The availability is the same. And these guys are just weaker because they have less frontal armor. They even have less rounds. So really they are literally worse than anything. Like worse than the one thing and not better than anything for the same price, same availability. And you don't want to have 3 cards of these, so I think you just go with the 35s if you want to go there. Leader 35 here as well, with 3-6 availability. Not great, but okay. And then you have the VZ40, 15 points, with the better penetration, 70mm. But the weaker frontal armor actually, same as the 34 with only 25mm frontal armor. And yeah, rate of fire goes up though. Goes up to 15 rounds per minute. HE shells here at 15 rounds per minute as well. So a good bit more firepower here. And then the 38 with 60 frontal armor here. And the same gun, but one less MG. Losing an MG for the frontal armor. But having a lot more frontal armor there. So they actually can survive against other light weapons, autocannons and so on quite well. And you get 14 of these actually. So the availability actually goes up. You only can take them in A-Phase though. So the light vehicle spam here is fine. You get another German Panzer 3N here as a like somewhat better armored light vehicle because it's the short barreled 75mm gun. So not great penetration. Solid HE. And good 12 rounds per minute there. So more of an infantry support tank. As killing tanks with the heat can maybe work out, but the accuracy there is terrible. And the AP shell has next to no pen, so that's a bit of an issue here. Stuk, your only really capable anti-tank unit here, and coming in the tank tab. Stuk 3G with 135mm pen. And 1 MG here, 75 points, 90mm frontal armor. So I feel like you take this and then you take assortment of these guys in whatever order you want to have them in. All pretty damn cheap, so you can spam them in endless numbers until the end of AOB phase, when you finally will run out. Really can bring a lot of them out there quite quickly. ARM 38's coming around, Maxims, the ZB53 MG here as well, Paradushka coming around here as well, so 3 MG options here, all covered again. The ZB53 homemade and then 2 Soviet variants. And then you have a classic IG-18 Pzgr here as well. Can come in all phases. Praga transport here as per usual. You get a MG42 too, so 4 different MG options. You get the Soviet pendant to the IG as well. So really, everything is covered there. And then you get Ford supply trucks. You get Jetbur, British Commando, Commandants, Commander here with Smoke and AT, but that's really not where you want to put your 110 vulnerability commander. This, I think, is for 5 points more and a better survivability. The Solid Thorn is nice as well. If any enemy autocannon vehicle tries upon you, you can't kill it. This, I think, is the battle leader, and then you could take 38, LT-38 here as well as a commander. We come with a really old AT gun here, 37mm. Has our first one in the tank tab. Good rate of fire, but terrible penetration. At least has HE rounds, so you can give fire support at 1000 meter with these guys. 12 rounds per minute, but not the best damage. You get Solid Thorn and the tank rifles. Those are always quite nice. Lovchi Tanku with Smoke, RPG, PTRD, but only in C phase. Don't think you want to have the tank rifles there, so I don't think you're going to take these. Then the Pak 36T, so another Czech design, Czechoslovak design here, coming around with 65mm pen. At least a capable heat round, but only on short range, so about 50-meter range. Though actually you don't lose that much. Accuracy here is always a bit of a problem on the heat rounds as well, but you get them with 2 vet, so it is an okay spot there. So could be worthwhile considering. The Paras bringing around M46s, but 42s, but only in C phase. Once more, I don't think you want them there. Then a classic Pak 38 and 2 cards of Pak 40, which can come in P phase, so this is a good one. And then a Martyr as a tank destroyer, so Pak 40's Martyr, since Duke's kinda your anti-tank here. Pak 38s can be nice as well, so I feel like you want to have the heavy stuff here, because you have infantry that can fight, you have light tanks that can give good fire support, so you want to have as much penetration here in the anti-tank tab as possible. AA tab can help out a bit with this as well. You have an Ehrlichman that also has AP rounds, but only against light vehicles. Ehrlichman 20mm coming around as your baseline A, and a Flak 37 88, which can obviously shoot AP shells as well, so that can be handy sometimes as well, but usually you don't want to push it, but it gives you the 2000 meter range AT, so it's the only one that can do it for you here in this deck. So if you have to, you might do that. And then we have an artillery tab that has a lot of old guns as well. Polny Cannon, 80mm with 8750 meter range and 6 rounds per minute. This guy having a bit more rate of fire, getting better availability as well. And then another 80mm, like a lot of old guns here. Smokes on these, heat on these, no smoke there. You can't smoke with these 2 howitzers. Better range and 10 rounds per minute. That's quite nice as well. Here it's only 6, so I feel like this is the way to go. You then get 6 rounds per minute out of your 100mm as well. You get a German light Feldhaubitze. You get 81mm mortar. You get the good Ruby gun, 8 rounds per minute with radio. Like, these guys are great. These guys are really fantastic. And then you get a 150mm outsource of 3 rounds per minute. Not so great there. 2 off-map artillery observers, planes. One with 150mm and one with 105mm. Both cool-looking planes. But, yeah, not the greatest. And, yeah, you can get 2 different cards here. Air tab is a bit of a weird one as well. Old, really old the biplanes here coming around early for you. You get a HE-72D recon plane. You get a B-534 fighter with 4 7.9mm guns. on a 420 kmh plane. Like, yeah, I don't think you really want to use this thing. Can bring it in A phase. You get a slow double 250 kilogram though bomber that you has unfortunately bad availability. Like, this could be a cool meme. Unfortunately, with only 2 availability, I think it's a bad meme because yeah, it can punish the enemy for not having AA, but any bit of AA will kill this, and you can't bring them out in a big enough wave to really make a difference. You get a 2 availability, double 20mm, ME 109E4, the double 20mm saving this uh, old ME 109 variant. It has very bad resilience, but it at least is a decent bomber killer. You don't really want to dogfight with, like you want to dogfight maybe, but you don't want to go head on with this thing, as it will just disintegrate. But for 60 points, that is fine. The veterancy helps out here a good bit too. So decent A phase fighter, that's where you want to go. I don't think you want to go here. And then you have a recon bomber, Uhu as well, with 50 kilogram bombs. The Focke-Wulf 189. ME 109 G6. Actually, maybe you want to go there, as the other ones only come in B phase and C phase. So ME 109 G6 here, 20mm and 30mm, is a good bit faster. Comes with 2 weight as well. Like, that's really helpful that these are all aces. So yeah, this can be, has bad and not very bad resilience, so it's a good bit more survivable. Still not a head-on plane, but the battery speed also helps out hunting enemies. But the double 20mm here is still a nice touch. LA 5FN, double 20mm classic fighter. We have seen a lot of this. B25J, Mitchell coming actually in A phase, but 50 kilogram bombs, that's not great. And then here we have a lot of bombers here. LA5FN, 200 kilogram bombs coming around here in B phase. Lee 2 coming around from B phase onwards as well. Yeah, decent speed bomber, 440, medium resilience, so that's not great. And for 250 kilogram bombs, though, those are pretty fine. Availability not great with 2 at B phase as well. Yeah, not sure you really want to take this 10 100 kilogram bombs here on this Lee 2 and B. And then from B phase onwards, you also get some Western planes, with the fighters being P-51s here, but it's the one with only 4 Brownings. So killing things with this is always a bit of a pain because it's just too fast. P-51, yeah, as the fast bomber. You get a SM-84s here, the good old Italian triplane, with 2 for 500 kilogram bombs. 4 availability in B phase. You can bring this one in A phase as well. This is a decent A phase bomber. Very good resilience actually on this thing. Decent speed. Like, this is actually a fine bomber. B25 coming around with 4 250 kilogram bombs. Can come in A phase as well. And then Elite 2 NB with 2 500 kilogram bombs coming in a B phase. And a Mosquito with 4 napalm bombs and 4 Hispan 20 volts coming in B phase as well. So the availability here, not amazing. So this is it for the new allied divisions. Let's have a look at what we get on the other side. And there we start with the 18th Panzer Grenadier Division Horst Wessel. And that one is a weird bunch, and this DLC in general kind of shows us what we would get if we would get a skill division 9045. Like, these units are all a bit ragtag and not the most amazing. You can see German forces are a bit falling apart, though there are still some interesting units here in the Horst Wessel. So let's start in the recon tab. BMW R75 Aufklärers that can come in the 222, so that is always nice to have. Classic since the old days. And then Spähtruppe Horst Wessel, 4-man squad, 1 Czechoslovak MG26. No special thing here really about this one. So yeah, 4-man squad. Not really great availability on 1 vet. Okay. Aufklärungspanzer 2 F with 20mm. If you want to have an autocannon tank, this has you covered. Ersatz Spähtruppe Horst Wessel, disheartened but at least double MG42 and a Panzerfaust. Like, this is a weird one. It is recon. It is 30 point though, and for an disheartened 0 vet unit here. Not the biggest fan of these guys, but at least they have a decent amount of firepower. Availability is fine as well. And then you have a 231, another recon vehicle with autocannon. So you at least get a decent amount of these, like you would want to have out of a Panzer Grenadier division. Infantry has a lot of new units here as well. Heimat Slovakia coming around as your disheartened 15 man, 11 man, 15 availability, 15 point squad. Availability of 15 is for 15 points is okay. 11 man for 15 points here is fine as well. This is not a special unit. The disheartened obviously hurts. Yeah, going around there in a okay manner. The POHG coming around with security trade, so getting a bit better optics when stationary. That can be helpful. 8 man for 15 points. MG34 disheartened. That's not great. The availability is fine. Both of these squads, yeah, if you want to bring around the disheartened forces with availability or cheap here, these can both do the job. They're both not great, but they're both fine for that price point. Panzerabwehr coming around in a weird way here. They are fanatical. They have Molotovs. They have an MG42 and carbines though. Like, this all goes a bit against each other. They call it Panzerabwehr, but they don't have a Panzerschreck. They only have a Panzerfaust 60. Availability is okay. Fanatical here is somewhat helpful for a unit like this, but you don't want to push your MG42 unit into the enemy's face, so a bit of a weird squad here. Grenadier with Granatbüchse 39, 1 MG, 9-man squad, German engineers, like outside of that normal Grenadier, 9-man for 20 points, always not great. You usually want to have the 10-man that a lot of other units get, but it's okay. Granatbüchse is an okay anti-tank rifle as well, 300 meter range there. It's a bit annoying that it doesn't have the 400, but the 60 pen at least compensates you somewhat. Pioneer Führer has a TNT 4-man squad, has a radio. Like, this is always a fine one. 369 availability here. The Ukrainian Grenadiers coming around next with DP 28s, carbines, and a PPS 43. So 2 Soviet weapons here, but Panzerfaust and carbines. At least good availability. Outside of that, yeah, just pretty normal one. The DP 28 is not great, so okay infantry there as well. The Grenadier Führer here coming around with fanatical trade and 369 availability. 25 points is always a bit annoying on these. Like, compared to the Pioneer Führer, I always feel like the Pioneer Führer is better. Smoke is nice, but why are they not 20 points? Like, they are still a 4-man leader. Like, don't know. These always feel like a 20-point leader. Same. Yeah, Panzer Grenadier Führer here. Horse Vessel. Like, this is the classic. Can come around in the AA truck. So that is nice about these guys. The others, all Opel Blitzes and Cis. So sorry for that, guys. Jumped over that. But yeah, the transport here are pretty limited for all the others. But yeah, the Panzer Grenadier Führer can come around in the 20mm truck. That's always nice. Having the AA transport that can come out, helping out both as fire support against infantry with the 20mm, but also light AA coming around without having to buy it in the AA tab. And we have a really weird one here. Panzer Grenadier Horse Vessel with MG30, which are the ZB30 automatic rifles. And the Beute Bazooka. 11-man squad, 25 points. This is an okay squad. Availability 1827 here. Coming out of B-Phase as well. Like, this is a fine squad. 25 points, bazooka, double MG, 11-man strength. Like, this is a, fine Panzer Grenadier squad there. And then Panzer Pioneer coming around as well. Opel Blitz only here. So Panzer Grenadiers, but no half-tracks. Horst Vessel engineers here coming around with AT rifle and TNT. Nice combo there. The double automatic rifle here helps out in CQC as well. So this is a fine Pioneer squad as well. I like both of these units. Like, those are your good infantry here. Get 2 cards of these. Availability is classic Pioneer availability, unfortunately, but that's fine. Sturm Pioneer with Flamethrower, the 150-meter range SMGs, automatic rifle as well. 612 availability on one vet. That's actually quite nice. 11-man squad. This is a fine, good unit as well. Like, this is where the good infantry goes in this deck. The Horst Vessel ones are pretty fine. The Grenadier Führer here, 25 points. Smoke once. Like, you have 3 of these leaders. You can just choose the name there. The Pioneers, Ukrainian Pioneers here with TNT. 9-man squad. 12, 18 availability. So the better availability. Firepower here is fine as well. No move and shoot on this. On the light machine gun. TNT and the SVT 40s are fine though. 9-man is a bit annoying. It's an okay squadron, not great. And then you have your classic Panzer Grenadiers, once more, only in open blitzes. In Horst Vessel variant here with MG42, Panzerfaust. They get the FEG 43 and the ZK 383, which is actually a nice touch. So this is actually an okay squad. Like, the straight pull rifle, the FG 43 is quite solid. The ZK 383 with the extra range is a good Panzer Grenadier squad. Like, 30 points. Yeah, sure. 11 men though. All of that. Like, I still feel like this one's the better one for 25 points, but you only get 1 card there, and both are fine. And then you have the SS-Jagdverband, which is a commando unit that has a lot of SMGs, 12 men, 30 points, pretty expensive. 2 vet though. TNT, the sniper rifle is weird. The sniper rifle is really weird. But they can do the job, and yeah, having 1 guy in there to, like, kind of pose as a partisan to, like, get in as bait. Interesting touch there. Yes, we saw some of the partisans looking like this. So yeah, partisan hunters here. Absolute shitty human beings, like the whole formation. SS dickheads, but yeah, good infantry unit here for the game's sake. And then the Grenadiers here coming around with triple MG42 Fnatic 9-man squad. This is how I like my triple MG squads. Like, this is good firepower and has decent staying power as well. No small MPs here, so this is a good little unit as well. Like, the units up top here, all not that great with the Grenadiers and so on, but what you have down here is actually really good infantry. Tank tab, really limited in slots, so this is more of an aggressive deck as well, I would say. You get a 35T, and then you get a Panzer IV at 60 points. Only A phase though. And the Stoke 3G here, only B phase. So A, B, Vanguard Maverick deck once more. You get another one of these ADGZs. We haven't seen all that many in this. And this one is the SS-Fr.Pzgr one. So it has discipline trait as well. Has the 20mm. And yeah, that's a nice autocannon here once more in the support tab. Fr.Pzgr here coming around as well. IG-18. You have a fire support Panzer IV here as well, with the good 12 rounds per minute on the AG. And then you have a Dushka and an MG42. Ukrainians bring around the Dushka, Oberblitz, and an IG-33 coming around, Commandant, Stoke 3F, and a BMW as the commander. So IG-33 is nice, 20mm is nice, solid support tab. This goes into a decent anti-tank tab. You have the radio CIS-3s, those are always kind of helpful with the HE rounds, can be nice makeshift artillery for 40 points. Pak 40s, 3 cards, 1 card of Pak 38s, only in A phase. These in all phases, Panzerschreck in BMWs. Like, what do you want more? So yeah, this is a good one. A8 tab, really costly, but at least you got a Flak 40, Flak Feeling and a Flak 43, both high high value AA, so this is at least fine in that regard. And then you get a pretty big artillery park, as you get both Soviet, Czech, Slovak, and German guns. Like the Feldhaubitze, 81mm mortar, the great Ruby, 8 rounds per minute radio. This thing is just great. And then an M30 with radio on the German side, so that's always better than the original. On the other side, SK-18 here is okay. Then you have M10s coming around with 3 rounds per minute. That's not the greatest. And then the big old Czechoslovak guns with 3 rounds per minute as well. Air tap, pretty limited, but okay. You get 3 different recon tank ones, including a Focke-Wulf recon bomber. So yeah, you have options there for the slots. You can just go recon if you just want to spot the enemy. J-87 D3s in 3 different variants as well, including a napalm bomber that also has HE bombs though, so it's a bit of a weird one there. 3 availability here, 2 availability here on the 2 normal HE and 1 napalm bomb. One that can come around here. The bomb model's not showing up here immediately. Yeah, R2 J87 goes a bit slower. Has 20mm guns in the wing though, so that's nice as well. And then you have another R2 with 3 napalm bombs. Same availability here, 2, 4, 6. BF-109 G6s in A, B, and C with Veteran C. HS-129 tank counter, that is a nice one, nice touch as well. Only comes in B, but with good availability there. So having a tank counter there is nice. Focke-Wulf coming from B phase onward as well with 420mm DA8. So 420mm, 230mm, great head-on plane, as per usual, medium resilience there. And then Panzerrohr anti-tank rocket, Focke-Wulf F8. Adds a nice touch too. So coming in from B phase, so you can choose which tank counter you want to have in B phase there to get your push through, because I think that's kind of where you want to end the game. Like, this feels like a Maverick kind of deck, maybe even Vanguard. So yeah, air tap here is pretty fine. Let's move on. Yes, we still have a bit to go, and we are already over the 1 hour mark. So let's have a look on the next deck, which is the 208th Infantry Division. And that is coming in here between 122nd and 352nd. So finally a 200 number infantry deck. Let's have a look here. A lot of infantry, as you would expect. Not a lot of tanks, as you would expect. But you get a couple of them in the recon tab at least. 1 Panzer IV J here showing up there. Aufklärer can come into 2 again. That is nice. Only in B phase here though. Jäger Spätrupp. 2 G43s, 2 MP44s. That's a nice little loadout. Not really helpful though, you don't want to fight with these. Only coming in B phase as well. BMW radio. The 5-point radios can be nice. That's what you like these BMWs for. Yeah, the rest is not that great. Classic Fusiliers here in Open Blitz with the classic availability. Okay, 9-man squad, not the greatest. Fusilier MP44, a bit more interesting, with 6 MP44s. Same price, same availability, or actually better availability in B phase, because you can take them with 0 vet, but with 1 vet, same availability. AT grenade. I would say this is the better squad, so yeah, you want to take these in B phase, I think. And then a normal spray troop. Nothing special there in B phase as well. Yeah, only the Fusiliers can come in A phase. That's a bit of an oddity here. Like, even the Aufklärers only come in B phase. So if you want to have recon in A phase, you have to take the Fusiliers. And then all the other squads come later. The Aufklärungspanzer 4J and 231 coming there in B phase as well. BMW works as well, but infantry-wise, it's only the Fusiliers. Slot-wise, also not that great. Ersatztruppen at B phase for 10 men, yeah, not great, but yeah, if you just want to have buddies to throw at the enemy, still works nowadays. Grenadier with Kanatbüchse coming around here, 60 pen, MG42s all going around. Grenadier MG42 for 20-point unit here. 9, 18, 27 availability. Classic MG42 Grenadiers. Grenadier MP44. Once more, the more interesting one. You only get one card. Comes with 6 MP44s. So at the medium range here, interesting little amount of firepower. Then you have your normal Grenadiers with the MG34. So you go through 4 different variants of Grenadiers actually. The MP44s without any AT weapons, and the MG42 one. Then the Panzer Grenadier with Panzerfaust, and the one with Granatbüchsen. 18 availability and 16 availability on the AT ones. 24 and 18 here on the others. So availability here on the MP44 one, quite nice as well. 16 on one vet. Jaeger with a lot of MP40s, G43 and an MG42. Always a bit of a weird squad. Good availability at least though. And yeah, you want to push them. CKC MG42 works a bit against this. Like these two weapons aren't really working together, and the two G43s don't really give this good firepower in medium range, but at least they help out in the CQC. Jägerführer with MP44s, 6 availability, is okay for 20 points, has radio, that is nice. Classic German pioneers, Pionierführer, Grenadierführer. Jäger MP44, once more weird squad with a sniper and the MP44, but that works well together. Availability goes a bit down here, 12, 18, but that's still fine. And yeah, 300 meter range, this has a good firepower. 25 points is fair there as well. Jäger MP44 doing the job. Jäger Pioneers here with a lot of G43s, that is nice as well. 25 points with 10 availability, classic Pioneer there. But yeah, compared to these guys, goes up 5 points for the better firepower. MG42s and G43s are the upgrade there. So that's worth considering. Jäger Pioneers there coming around. Then Panzergrenadierführer. That can't use any real Panzergrenadier transports though. And the 25 points, not really great. Sturm Pioneers, classic as well. 6 men, smoke, and flame. Jägers with MG42. Really cool loadout. 3 MG42s and a sniper rifle. Like, this is absolute damage output. And the MP44s instead of MP40s is a nice touch as well. Like, at 300 meter range, this just shreds, but it already shreds at 750 meter range. This is a pretty insane fire support unit. So, really helps out this division. And then classic Panzer Grenadiers without half tracks. Tank Tap, limited. Panzer 4 and leaders in B phase and the Stuks in A phase. So turn around from the Horst Vessel where you got Stuks in B phase and the Panzer 4 in A phase. Here's the other way around. Still really limited, so you need to do something with this deck relatively quickly. And then support tab, you get Gebirgs IG-18s and the normal IG-18s, classic MGs, Jäger variant that doesn't really make anything different outside of being called Jäger. IG-37, which has weird heat rounds as well. Stats-wise, it is more expensive because it has the better heat shell. The HE shells are the same, so that's an interesting one. And then IG-33 for the long-range fire support, 2000 meter reach HE. And leader Panzer 4 commandant, and yeah, the other commanders here fine as well. Anti-tank. You get a Pak 43 in B phase, so you have a big gun. Martyrs coming in A, B, and C phase, so you have a bit of anti-tank firepower here. Slots are fine as well. You get the SIS-3 with radio, so this is a fine one. Panzerjäger, 6-man Panzerschreck squad is around here as well. And the normal Panzerschreck 2. AA is okay. Once more pain in the slots, but you get flak feelings this time towed as well. 20 millimeters, I don't think you want to waste your time on. No special transport there either. Flak 43 here. Can come with Malt here, but that's about it as well. And then in the artillery tab, you actually get the tracked Wespe and Hummel. And outside of that, K18 big gun. You get a old Schneider 155mm, the SK18, and the LF8, the classic Leitfeld Haubitze here as well. So standard German artillery tab. It's good slots. And yeah, not sure you want to fill them all out though. So I think you want to push this deck relatively hard as well. And the air tab helps out with this a decent bit as too. You get Recon BF-109 that actually has guns, so this is okay. J-75 with good bomb load. Availability wise, fair as well, with 2 availability, then A-phase, double 20mm in the guns with the D5. BF-109 G6, bad resilience, can take it with every veterancy. Fine little fighter. 590 kmh is decent as well. J-75 cluster, that's always nice to have. 3-4-6 availability here. J-87 G1, anti-tank gun plane, always nice to have as well. With not the greatest availability, but yeah, G1's still nice to have. G14 BF-109, only coming in C phase. 30mm and 230mm. Really fast though, 670 kmh, pushing it there. Still, it's a BF-109, so bad resilience, but at least it's good bomber hunter. Still C-phase only. He kind of wanted to have the game over by then, so I'm not so sure how great that is. And then a J-87 with 1-4-6 availability here with the 500 kilogram bombs. And once more, a Panzerrohre, Focke-Wulf here for B-phase or A-phase with anti-tank hunting capabilities. And a 1-2-4 availability bigger bomber with a lot of 50 kilogram bombs, though that's never really worth it. The 50 kilogram bombs in a big number don't really do a thing, so with the limited air slots, I don't think you want to go there. I think you want to have some of the AT planes, one fighter, and maybe one of the bombers or the recon plane coming around to this deck. So interesting one as well. The infantry tab for sure, quite cool. And yeah, this is where you play around it. Recon tab a bit weird, like really weird actually. Like only the Fusiliers and A. That's something weird you have to play around. Slots not the greatest either, but they're okay at least. So yeah, that's 208. Let's get around to the final deck. And then the final one is the 13th Gyaloghadosztaly, which I confused with the 25th because I recorded the first version at 6 a.m. in the morning because the NDA dropped so properly, and I was really confused why there were so many known units in there. That explained that. So let's have a look into this instead. So yeah, the units here in the Recon tab are all pretty well known as well. Soluthorn Recon bike and the normal BMW, the classic Java, the Federator Era 2 vet, and the Lovash Federiturk with a pretty decent 12-man squad coming along here, and with good forces here. Luthorn, yeah, the availability curve is okay, nothing special there. The transports are standard as well for the Recon, and then we have Tatalek Löwisch here as a 15-man, 12-man squad, so that's pretty juicy. Obviously disheartened. 1 MG, 1 SMG, and then a lot of Mannliche. So decent value unit. Has an AT grenade, that's quite nice for 15-point unit as well. Then we have the Hedgie Akajok with 12 availability, 13-man Pioneered squad, 420 points. That's good value as well, as Hungarians usually go with a lot of value, so they do that here as well. The Hedgie Dash with the Matson and some FG 43Ms and the Molotov. Good 13-man squad as well. Decent availability, goes even up one more. And yeah, trading the TNT there for the Molotov and the Matson and better availability. So I would say this is the better unit. Get 2 cards of these with good 18-27 availability. So that is quite nice. Yeah, the overstrength Hungarian forces actually an advantage here for them, that they had less officers, so they had to make bigger squads, because in Steel Division that gets you better value. And then we have the Kerek Pararozok coming around here with the Nuvias, with FG 43Ms and the Thorn, and 13-man squadron here with good availability as well. Löwisch coming around with the Soluthorn, and 2 Danuvias, 9 FGs as your baseline infantry. Löwesch having 1 less man, but having a Panzerfaust, so that's a fair trade here. Though the Löwesch also go down in availability in A phase, can't take them in B phase here. So in general, I think this is still the better unit here. Then Löwesch 36M coming in with a Soluthorn, and yeah, 12-man strength, the 9, 18, 27 availability, decent there as well. Good strength. The 5-man flamers of the Hungarians, pretty standard, not great. 20 points for a 5-man squad. Has smoke, that's the nice thing. The rest is relatively mediocre. Arkozsok, the normal pioneers of them with the 6, 12, 18 availability. If you compare them, they have same hit points, but less SMGs, which obviously SMGs are nice for a pioneer squad. So I would say they are a bit weaker than the other one, but as the FG43M is not terrible, this is still a pretty close unit there as well. Arkozsok 31M, get a Soluthorn. Still the same price, still the same availability, so that's, I would say, a buff. They have 1 Danuvia more than a normal Arkozsok, so they are in the middle there, in between the 2 units. So this is a good card as well. And then we get the Heiji Dash with MG42, which is a nice one as well, though they cost you 5 points extra. Availability on 0 vet is better though. It's 18 versus no, it's the same. Yeah, right. You pay 5 points extra for the MG42. Not sure if that's worthwhile against the normal Heiji Dash. So yeah, outside of that, they are the same unit. Even lose a Danuvia with Molotov units. You kind of want the Danuvia. You kind of want the automatic rifle as well for the CQC fights. So I think the normal one that are also cheaper are the better unit there. Though this is the only way to MG42s, which are obviously good at MGs. So that's the question: how badly do you need the MG42s? If you need them, then this is your unit. And then we have 3 different leaders here. 1 with radio and good availability curve, and then 2 with not so great availability curve and no radio. This and both 5 and 6 men as well for the same price. So this is the leader to go in B and C phase. You can use these guys in A phase here with the smoke. A classic 5-man leader of smoke there. Nothing special, so that's what you get down here. Infantry slots are all fine here, but then you get the 4-cost slot there. So up to here it's fine. This is okay-ish. It's an okay curve, not the greatest, but you can go with it. Then you get more A and B phase card stooks, so this is another relatively aggressive deck because C phase is not an option for access in this DLC. And yeah, you get the Srini 2, you get a Stuk 3G and a Stuk 3G Führer, and you have to go home with them and make it work. Bottom D, the supply trucks and the military police, the gender big squads here coming around once more for 20 points. Relatively solid value for the unit itself, but you don't have that many disheartened units here to really need the discipline trade, and the availability is not amazing. But if you have nothing better to fill the 1-cost slot with, these go pretty well. Just for the value of the firepower for 20-point units, they have a pretty good one there as well. The Danuvia 43Ms are pretty good SMGs. 13-man squad, 20 points, that's fine. AT-Tab has a Pak 43, has a 40mm, 2 variants actually, one with Raiders trade here from the Hedgie, has a Püppchen with radar trade, that's a nice one as well. And yeah, doesn't suffer from suppression metals and has stealth bonus, obviously nice on a Püppchen. And then 40mm in Hedgie version for extra price. Same availability curve as the normal 40mm here. So on AT guns, that always is quite nice. You have a big 80mm one as well. It has AP shells with decent 125mm pen, not 2000 meter range though, and also 125, not as amazing as 88, but at least has some penetration. The 40mm comes with 75mm penetration rounds as well. You have it with radar for 5 points more, same availability curve. So if you want to have stealthy AA guns, you can do that as well. And then we have the artillery tab, where you don't get the great 100... oh no, but you get the 150mm, which are great as well. Yeah, the Hungarians, for some reason, have amazing rate of fire. So that goes here as well. The Skoda, well, a 31M, going with 6 rounds per minute as well. You get the mortars here, you get the Nebelwerfer, you get 2 radio units here. With the Leichte Feldhaubitze 14/19M, old gun, decent rate of fire. For 175mm, you get 12 rounds per minute here with the HE rounds, or actually AP rounds, that is 8 rounds here with HE. That's okay as well. Both radio guns here. Decent with the range as well, not great, but decent. 8,000 and 9,900. So with radio, they should be pretty good. Without radio, I wouldn't quite use them, as you have Nebelwerfers as well. You have mortars with radio. So there are a lot of good options here. There is a off-map plane with 210mm. There is a off-map truck with 149mm artillery coming in. So this is a good tab there as well. It says 150 here, so I guess one of the two is lying. I would guess this is correct, and this is lying, but it doesn't really matter with that 1mm. And then we have planes, which are a good mix of Focke-Wulfs and support around them. The ME 210 here though, not that great. The BF-109 recon plane only has 30mm, so that's not a great fighter either. The normal G6 coming around here in normal availability. Focke-Wulf F8 coming around with 20mm and 30mm. And then F190 F8 coming along with a 250kg bomb and 850kg bomb version, which, yeah, no, don't use this. It has okay availability, but that's a weird bomb loadout. If you want to use one, use this, even though it has low availability. Reload time is better, and the damage you get is better as well. You have a 30mm AT gun variant of the HS-129 as well, coming in with the Germans. 246 availability here, so that is fine. And you get a Junkers 88 A4 with 2 500kg bombs and 10 50kg bombs here coming along as well. So, yep, this is a fine little deck. Not all that much special here. Like, you have a couple new infantry variants. Transport-wise, we can have a look here, but from what I saw, there is only Botondis here, or groups. No special transport here for any of these units. And same goes here. Troops and the trucks. So you don't get anything really special onto the field here with these units. No weird half tracks or anything. So, yep, this is the final division. Let's move on to the Army General. Let's watch the intro video here.
Late summer 1944. The overwhelming strategic success of Operation Bagration has put the Red Army on the doorsteps of Warsaw, while liberating vast stretches of Soviet territory and forcing Romania to switch sides. By early September, the communist spearheads reached the borders of Axis-controlled Slovakia. In the fascist puppet state, a rebellion is in the making. The Slovak army plans an uprising, aiming to join the Allies. The control of the strategic Dukla Pass, the gateway through the Carpathians, is vital. Without it, Soviet troops will not be able to reinforce the rebels. Launched prematurely on August 29th, the Slovak national uprising takes 1/3 of the country, but is then blocked by the quickly reacting Germans. The Dukla Pass is not taken. On high alert, Axis security formations and combat troops rush in to crush the insurgency. The Germans set up their defenses, but lack reserves and time. The Soviets, left with no other options, prepare for a costly frontal assault, as it is the only way to link up and save the Slovak national uprising. One of the bloodiest battles of the war begins.
So, yeah, pushing through the Dukla Pass.
Commander, our goal is simple. Smash through the defenses at the Dukla Pass and breach the Carpathians, where no terrain or enemy will stand in our way of joining arms with the Slovakian rebels. The The first objective is Krosno, the gateway to the Dukla Pass, and then to punch through to Presov, from where we can access the Slovakian hinterlands. Our spearheads are ready to exploit any breakthrough achieved by our valiant soldiers. The Jaslo-Krosno-Sanok line is held by seasoned and well-entrenched divisions, but the flanks are occupied by second-rate troops and security forces. Reach Presov as fast as possible, no matter the costs. Hold the corridor, Comrade Commander, for enemy reinforcements are closing in as we speak.
So yeah, it's all about the corridor. We have to go to Presov. With a good couple of forces here. As you get a lot of automachikis here on these infantry formations. Tank-wise, you get T-34s mostly. A couple of T-34-85s here on this one. Same here, T-70s. Not all that many tanks that you get here at the beginning. Only those two formations. The rest is all a lot of infantry. Kazakhis coming around here. So the infantry mix is there. With more automachiki formation and Strelki TTs here. Coming around in the Strelkovis. And then you have the Saperi brigades here with Faustnikis and so on. A lot of Strelkis. A lot of guys coming around. You get these Czechoslovaks coming around for you. With the Streltsy PTRDs. You can bring around from turn 9 a.m. This should be next turn. But you have to push on so that you can bring them in here. And you can get them a bit further forward. Like each spot you capture, you can bring them further onward. So that's pretty helpful. With these reinforcement flags. All the way even to Peskov. And you could flank through here and try to get to one of the rear points and then spawn it in that way. If you can like surround the enemy here. So that's what they want you to do. And yeah, there's more cavalry squads here that bring more T-34s. And come in a nice mix of infantry and T-34s here with the Kazakhi ones. Though the ones that you start with on the flank, they only have a couple of Valentines and one T-34, so not that... The ones that you get later are better. You only have this recon one here on the side. And the Guts Tank Corps coming in a bit later, where you then get your IS-1s here and a couple of IS-2s. Same with the second one here, I believe. Or no, this is actually SU-25 and only T-34s coming around to help you out. So yeah, only really a handful of IS-2s that you get in this one, but that should help out against the enemy. So let's have a look on the German side. And on the German side, you start only with a really thin front line. And as you can see, you get a lot of different reinforcements. And the Stuk group can come around here with a good couple of Stuks. With 60 Stuks coming around for you there. The 8th Panzer Division coming around a bit later. Can come around here as well. With a good couple of Panzer IVs trying to rescue you. So those are decent formations. And then the rest comes in from the rear. So the 357th Infantry here coming around from behind with classic Grenadier formations. And the classic anti-tank formation here, which has mortars, Pak-40s. Then Fusiliers with the recon. And the number here. Yeah. Somebody might have written 357th there in there by accident. Yeah, then Neihart Regiment. Yeah, classic infantry regiment here as well. Pak-40, some 20mm guns. Grenadiers. Same goes here. A lot of guns. 75th Infantry coming around as well. Yeah, these guys coming around with mortars. And then we have Fusilier Regiment 202 coming around with more Fusiliers. And yeah, a lot of recon squadrons here. Grenadier normal formations as well. And yeah, normal like Feldhaubitze artillery. Infantry regiments here with more grenadiers. So a lot of classic grenadier squads on these. And then the first Panzer group comes around with the Panthers. This is where the Panthers come in. They can come in here. So your reinforcements come from all over the place. Panzer Force, a couple of Panthers. Some Panzer Grenadiers here, obviously coming with these guys as well, though relatively low on numbers. Not all that many, but high vet with these Panzer Grenadiers, and then some more light Feldhaubitze and a couple of SKs, and then one more Panzer Grenadier formation here with a lot of 20mm, a lot of half tracks, and a good couple of Panzer Grenadiers, normal Panzer Grenadiers coming in as well. And then you get the Jäger Regiment here with the MP42 and MP44 Jäger Regiments, Panzerjägers, and a bit of a support tab there as well. And they all kind of look the same outside of the Sturm Regiment, which then also has a bit more AT, like this is the support one. And that has a couple of SPWs as well. And then they have a normal Grenadier Regiment as well, which gives you more Grenadiers. With a couple of MP44 Grenadiers as well. And Panzerschreck teams here. So pretty classic loadout there. And as you can see, a lot of reinforcements. Air wing here, you get 5 of, a good couple of ones with fighter bombers, and one with normal only fighters, or 2 actually with only fighters, 2 pure fighters, 2 mixed ones, and then 1 bomber wing with Heinkel 111s. And yeah, the frontline units, you have 1 unit with Martyrs here. You have the Stab with AT weapons and a bit of Stabswache support units here. And then you have normal infantry regiments with grenadiers in entrenched positions all around here, like Sicherungsbattalions with only bolt action rifles, normal infantry regiments here with 1 vet, artillery, Stab, and another Marder unit, so pretty classic formation there as well. Grenadiers here coming around too. These one in the middle, they have 2 vet, the one on the flank, only 1 vet. This one has a couple of Stuks at least though, but yeah, that's about it. So this is the Army General. The deep push should be interesting. I think this one should be quite cool in multiplayer as well, though the unit variety maybe not as great, especially on the Soviet side. Like, it's a lot of infantry slog. If you like infantry fights in Steel Division, I think this one will be quite fine. The armored ones at least show up in okay numbers. I don't think it's quite as bad as the Finnish Army General here, but I don't think it's the most amazing one yet either. Like, I don't think it's as good as the Polish one, for example. It's a fine one, so yeah. Let me know down below what you think about these, and yeah, see you all in the next one, guys. Bye bye, and have a great day.